the Unapologetic Gent, man. I'm back. We had a lot going on this weekend. So many things to discuss. So much stuff happening. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's finally got sacked. Everything is right in the world. Manchester United got absolutely blitzed by Watford. You can see the team doesn't want to play for him. And, they just have some players that just aren't up to the Manchester United quality, to be quite completely honest with you. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, their whole back four, has no business being at Manchester United as starters anyway. Squad players, yeah, why not? McTominay was McTominay. Bruno was absolutely shocking. He's been shocking for a long time, and now that he isn't scoring goals, I'm seeing a lot of Manchester United fans that were popping their gums talking about Bruno Fernandes, one of the best players in the world. That's gone silent. Hasn't scored a goal in 12 games. He's been playing exactly like he played last year. The difference was he was scoring goals, but his link-up play, his distribution, his passing, his work rate, his defensive numbers have all been the same. Ronaldo missed a few chances. He normally hits the target. He didn't have his best game either. I thought Jadon Sancho was excellent, especially in that second half. But I'm glad to see that they had the guts to get rid of him. Quite honestly, he had no business being Manchester United manager in the first place. A man with his CV should never be able to attach that job to his CV. They've been linked with some big names: Zidane, Ten Hag, Pochettino, Brendan Rodgers, Luis Enrique, the Spain coach. It's going to be interesting, man. I don't know if Zidane's going to take that job. Doesn't strike me as someone who wants to live in the northern part of England. Doesn't have to. Could easily walk. He could easily go back to Real Madrid if Ancelotti doesn't do what he has to do. Could easily go to PSG. Could easily go to the France national team if they don't win this upcoming World Cup. So he got money burning through his pocket, and his legacy, if he never coaches again, is cemented for a man who won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. I do think he would be able to deal with those personalities. I think he would definitely drop some players that deserve to be dropped. He's worked with Ronaldo and Varane in the past. Obviously, Pogba idolized him growing up, so that probably wouldn't be a hard conversation either. He's not necessarily known for his tactics, but he knows how to set up a good team, put people in a position to make plays, and play. He's not going to play all the superstars at once. Excuse me. He didn't do it at Real Madrid. Always played with a functional and creative midfield, and sat players like Bale when they weren't on form. So he's the obvious choice. I don't know if he would take the job. He's obviously available. I don't know how Manchester United fans would be. Obviously, he's a major upgrade from Ole. And then there's Pochettino, who, they probably have to wait for the summer for. Still hasn't won anything, really. He'll win the league definitely this year. He's dealing with big personalities now, so I'm sure he could do it. I don't know, but Brendan Rodgers, to me, obviously he's a better coach than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because everyone in management is a better coach than him that's at the top level. But feels kind of David Moyesy to me. It's not a big splash. It's not, is it the best in class that Manchester United should be going for? I'd say no. My 2 personal picks would be, because I don't think Zidane will take the job, would be Ten Hag or Luis Enrique, because they have an obvious style of football. They play young players. Luis Enrique won the treble when he was at Barcelona and had that brilliant front three, the MSN, Messi, Neymar, Suarez. He can deal with big names. He'll blood in, young players. You see him; he's done it with Gavi and Pedri in the Spain national team. while he's sitting full international top class players like Thiago for them. So he's coached big names, he's won things, and he bloods in young players. And then Ten Hag, I just love his style of play. He'll get the best out of Donny van de Beek. We definitely know that. Um, Knows how to play with young players, and just as a coach, he's a coach's coach. Tactically, I think he's very astute. Will he be on that Pep Klopp Tuchel level tactically? We'll have to see. He's made it to a Champions League, was a semifinal or final with an Ajax team that had a whole bunch of young players. I definitely think Luis Enrique, his style of football, it's kind of like Pep's but more direct. Definitely has a tactical plan, obvious way of playing. I hear a lot of Manchester United fans want attacking football, so you're going to get that from him. But anything's upgrade, even if they get someone in. The interim manager, I heard like Laurent Blanc or someone may come in as an interim for the rest of the season, will be better than all that. And everyone gets that new manager bounce, so we'll see. But Watford were absolutely blitzed Manchester United. Manchester United were despicable. And a lot of those players have played for, the Mourinhos, the Ancelottis, the Zidanes, the Didier Deschamps' of the world, the Ten Hags. Like, they know this man didn't know what he was doing. So, we'll see. That's enough of Manchester United. Anything's better than what they had, so we'll see what it looks like going forward. And if they want to bring in some type of project manager or they want to go win now, that team's ready to go win now, I think, barring maybe a couple of pieces. But you could definitely get a tune out of that squad, and there's no reason why they definitely shouldn't be finishing in the top four. So the fact I think they're like 7th or 8th in the table right now, that's just unacceptable for a squad that big that has that many stars in it. On to Liverpool, absolutely dominated Arsenal. Arsenal were exactly who everyone thought they were. They're not a top 4 club right now. They're like a 6 through 8, really. They're not, built to be playing with the big boys. When Manchester United gets a proper coach, they'll be in the big boys. But that Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, now that they're going to get a better coach. Like, Arsenal's not in that class. I think they're actually still a step behind Spurs because Spurs got Conte. There's not much more to say. Klopp has a great plan with great players. They execute. Salah, again, inevitable. Mane's in the form of his life as well. The only thing I would say about Liverpool is the difference to me between City and Chelsea to them is if they lose a Mane or a Salah, they're done. Their season's over. Or even if they lose a Trent Alexander-Arnold or something like that, like they can't afford to lose anyone from. They can't afford to lose Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mane, or Salah, or they're done. That team's finished. If they lose one of those 4 players, they're finished. And the difference is, like, I watched Manchester City today, who absolutely dominated. I can't even remember who they played. Everton absolutely dominated and blitzed them off the park. They had a kid, Cole Palmer, a young kid from the academy, playing as a false 9, and you didn't notice that Kevin De Bruyne or Jesus or some of the big guns weren't in the lineup. Ruben Diaz wasn't playing. So they have 3 top-notch center backs with a quality center back in Nathan Ake. Obviously, they have 2 of the best right backs, if not the best right backs in the league. And then Pep figures out a way to play someone at left back, Zinchenko, who hasn't played that much, who plays well. And obviously Nathan Ake. And then their midfield, pick someone to play. Grealish was out today. De Bruyne was out today. It didn't matter. Jesus didn't play today. Ferran Torres is out. But there to me, Manchester City is on the eye and what I've seen. Having already played Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, they're the best team in the league to me. Um, I think Liverpool's on a great run of form, and if everything's all well and everyone stays healthy, they'll be right there for the title, there or thereabouts. Um, Chelsea, I feel the same way. They're just consistent. They absolutely blew Leicester out the water as well. Um, there's no I don't get a spark from them. It's just consistent. It's mundane. It's bland, but it's so efficient. Efficiency and consistency is what you want as a coach. And they interchange their back three. They interchange who plays in the midfield. They interchange who plays in the front three. They change their fullbacks. So whoever Tuchel puts out there, he gets a tune out of. So that's the best compliment that I could give him is their system is more that they could lose any one person in that team, and they would still win games. They just Lukaku hasn't been playing; they've still been scoring goals. Timo Werner hasn't been playing; they've still been scoring goals. Alonso was in the form of his life in the beginning of the season. Chilwell came in, didn't miss a beat. He's getting tunes out of Hudson-Odoi at wingback and playing winger. You got guys like Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming in, giving quality minutes. Saul can't get games. I mean, COVID. They just have a great team overall that's built for their system and not one individual player. They have people that have bits of magic, but not really stardust. I would say. I mean, they're missing someone like that. I think if I was them, I'd probably sell in the summer maybe a Ziyech or a Pulisic or one of their wide players, and I'd go get someone like Rafinha. Because Lukaku would absolutely thrive with the type of service that he is, but he's just one of those players that he's a maverick. He'll go by people, and just have some type of brilliance. That's the only thing I think they're missing as a team. Obviously, Conte has brilliant moments, brilliant games, but from a final third brilliance quality end of the pitch, I think that's what they're missing. But as a team, they're solid, they're efficient. I think they're everything that Liverpool isn't, but Liverpool is everything that Chelsea isn't, if that makes sense. From this, yeah, and as I was saying, a little technical difficulties there, but yeah, Liverpool just has that brilliance at the end of the pitch, where Salah or Mane could just create something out of thin air and go win a game. I don't think Chelsea necessarily has that. But again, I think Manchester City is heads and shoulders above everyone else based on what I've seen so far. And their system and way of playing and not having a striker, they're not missing a beat. And people are going to say they need a striker. They may go buy one in January. They may go buy one in the summer. But, yeah. So it is what it is. And then I wanted to touch on Tottenham again. It was Antonio Conte's first home Premier League game. They were pretty pedestrian in the first half. I thought they really picked it up in the second half. It was Harry Kane's the best game I've seen from him so far, and I've watched Tottenham all their Premier League games. He put on a clinic in terms of hold up and link up play. Was spraying the ball everywhere. Was turning people and running at people. You can see what Conte is trying to do. Guys aren't necessarily. It doesn't look like they necessarily know. The movements, how they should be playing, the triangles that they should be creating yet. But as they keep playing in that system, it'll start to become second-hand nature to them. I thought Reguilon was excellent as well. Son didn't really do much. Leeds, I'm scared for Leeds. I like the way Bielsa plays football, but Uh, they may very well get relegated because they just don't have quality. Apart from Rafinha, Calvin Phillips, um, Rodrigo's a decent player. They got a couple of Harrison's a decent player. Bamford's a pretty good player when he's fit, but like their back line, whew, um, leaves a lot to be desired. So it'll be interesting to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get relegated. I hope they don't, because I enjoy their football. Um, and then on to Stevie G, man. Stevie G, Steven Gerrard took over Aston Villa, got a win. Um, and I think they have the quality in that team to for sure stay up and be a mid-table team, easily finish between 10 and 12, if not a little bit higher. So I'm glad to see Stevie G in the Premier League. He did an incredible job at Rangers, and hopefully he can get a tune out of that team. Tyrone Mings, though, I think he scored a goal, but he's awful. I don't know what they're going to do at the center back position. Konza is an excellent player. They got decent fullbacks, but they do have quality in the midfield. They do have quality in the final third. They have goal scorers. They got playmakers. So, I think Steven Gerrard can definitely get a tune out of them. It's going to be interesting to see his ascendancy as a coach, and I feel like they'll comfortably finish out of the relegation places. And yeah, man, I'm just excited to see Stevie G in there. Surprised that Frank Lampard didn't take one of those jobs. Maybe didn't want to take deal with relegation fodder, I guess. But I'm sure if not this year, next year, Lampard will probably be back in the Premier League as well. But yeah, man, it's the unapologetic gent back. Rocking a PSG jersey. Messi scored his first league goal, and I'm hoping they challenge for the Champions League. Man, I like to see Stardust when it gets to the later stages of the big competitions. Man, I want to see the PSGs, the Man Cities, the Real Madrids, the Bayerns, the Liverpools, the Barcelonas, the Atleticos, Borussia Dortmund, teams like that, man. Lille, the big French teams. So, great season so far. I think we're basically 1/3 through. Been some great games, some great developments. I'm just happy, just for the sake of football, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked. Again, a man with that CV doesn't deserve that job. No hate to him. Just obviously wasn't good enough. Tactically and that, maybe he'll go back to coaching in Norway. Who knows? But it's the unapologetic gentleman. Peace and love. Out.